everyone. In this video, we will discuss the remaining part of dihybrid cross. We have already discussed how we need to go with the dihybrid cross. In this, we will finish up with the phenotypic ratio, genotypic ratio, and of course the probability of each offspring. Let's start now. Now, for phenotype, you already know that how an organism looks is its phenotype. So the way you look, now here we have crossed the pea plant together. So of course we would be talking about the phenotype of the pea plant, means how are they looking. So if you see, we are getting various phenotypes which are written in blue. These are all the phenotypes, and this is the way the pea plant is going to look. So if you write down the phenotypes, then these are round and yellow. Simple, we need to write and then we need to count. So this is our round and yellow. These were also round and yellow. So first we will encircle and then we will count. So I am just encircling all the offsprings that are round and yellow, and I'm done with it now. So you can count. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Now we are already done with our first column. As a rule, that has already been told in the previous video, that while we are working out for any ratios related to the genetic cross, we have to move from one column to another. As we have done the first one, now we are heading towards the second one. In the second column, which is this one, you can see that first individual we have already been taken. So of course we need to start from round and green. So we will count how many individuals are round and green. This is round and green. This is also round and green. And this is also round and green. So our next genotype, it is going to be round and green. And how many individuals are there? Yes, there are 3 individuals. Now we will move to the third column, because all the individuals of second column, they are being covered, right?
Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. Don't forget to press the bell icon for the recent updates.
And in the third column, which I am taking by the green color, first 2 individuals are already being counted. Now we have to come on this one. This is wrinkled like yellow. This is also wrinkled yellow, and this is also wrinkled yellow. So our next phenotype, it is going to be wrinkled and yellow. How many individuals are there? 3. So now we are done with all the individuals of the column 3. We are moving towards column 4. This is being done. This is being done. This is also done. And we are left with just one, which is wrinkled and green. And only one individual is there. So our phenotypic ratio will become 9:3:3:3:1. Now how to find out that whether you have covered all the individuals of Punnett square or not? Now you can see overall how many individuals are formed in this Punnett square. 4, 8, 12, 16. So 16 individuals are formed overall, right? 16 individuals are there, and now when you sum up these phenotypic ratios, 9 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1, and it will give you 16. These numbers are matching, right? That means you have taken each individual. So I must suggest you, while you are doing phenotypic cross, especially when you will come to the genotypic cross, please do apply this trick, because it will help you in estimating the error. Now we have to find out the genotypic ratio for the dihybrid cross. because the number of individuals formed are 16, so it will be bit more lengthy than the monohybrid cross. Of course, the rules will remain the same. So one rule you need to remember, that while calculating the genotypic ratio also, you will first move from column number 1 up to down, column number 2 up to down, 3 up to down, column number 4 up to down. This way you need to move ahead. Okay, so our first genotype is capital R, capital R, capital Y, capital Y. You will write it down and you will count how many offsprings are with such genotype. So here you will see this is the one. I am using a dot so that we can easily identify it, and you will find there is no other individual with such genotype. So I will write here 1. Now I have to move towards the second individual, that is capital R, capital R, capital Y, small y. Again we need to count. So this is of one type, this is of one type. We will go on searching and we will find out, is there any individual of such type? So there is no other individual. So we have covered this genotype and there are 2 individuals of it. Now we will move towards capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. We will go on searching. So I have used a small box for it, and we will find out, is there any individual with such genotype? Yes, there is another one also, and this is the one. We will go on finding from each column up to down, the way I am doing it for you. So there are only 2 individuals. That means we are also done with the third genotype. Now we will move ahead and we will count this individual, and I have used a small triangle for it. We will count these many number of individuals. This is also of the same genotype, this is also of such type, and this is also the same. So how many individuals are there? 4. Now as a rule, I said in the beginning, we have to come to the second column. We are done with the first individual. Now we have to search for this capital R, and small y, small y. So we will count it. How many individuals are with such genotype? As you will go on searching from up to down in each column, you will find that there is only 1 individual with such genotype. We will move ahead and we will come to capital R, small y, small y. And how many individuals are there? This is the one and this is the another. That means we have 2 individuals with such genotype. We will come to column number 3. We are done with first 2. These are already done. So we have to come to small r, capital Y. And how many individuals are there? Only 1. This is the symbol which I have used. Now we will come to this individual, small r, capital Y, small y, and only 2 individuals are there with such genotype. Now we are only left with 1, and this is it, small r, small y, and this is only 1. So this will help in calculating the genotypic ratio. Now the way we have written, simply we have to write in the ratio form. So it will be 1 ratio 2 ratio 2 ratio 4 ratio 1 ratio 2 ratio 1 ratio 2 again ratio 1. So this is the genotypic ratio of a dihybrid cross, right? Now how to find out that whether you have covered each individual? And one thing, that you have put a mark on each individual. That means each individual has been considered. But the other way round is 16 offsprings are formed in this Punnett square. If you will add on these genotypic ratios together, it will come as 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 4 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 and plus 1. It will give you 16. And this number here, 16, and the 16 offsprings here of the Punnett square, they are matching. That means you have taken each individual. Now here, before I sum up, I just want to talk about probability as we have talked about in the monohybrid cross. Here also we will talk about the probability, and this will be very easy for you. We have already counted the numbers. See here, we have already counted the numbers, like this one is 1, this one is 2, 2. This way we have counted for each individual. Now suppose if in the exam question comes like, what if two parents heterozygous for a character? See here, this is our heterozygous parent only, because we have taken one dominant and one recessive allele, right? So these are our heterozygous parents. So in the board, question may come as, if two heterozygous parents are crossed together for a dihybrid cross, what is the probability to get homozygous dominant individual? This is our homozygous dominant, because see, only dominant alleles are seen. And how many individuals with such genotype are obtained? 1. We have worked out while we were calculating the genotypic ratio. Now 1 individual has been received out of 16 individuals. So if they are asking you in fraction, you have to give the answer in fraction only. Otherwise, if you want to calculate in the percentage, you need to multiply this value by 100. If the question comes as, what is the probability of getting the homozygous recessive individual if you are crossing two heterozygous parents? Again, homozygous recessive is this individual. How many individuals of such genotype are obtained? 1. From how many? 16. So this is the probability. So any probability can be calculated because the probability of each individual is 1 by 16. Suppose if they are asking for this one here, capital R, capital Y, small y, if they will give you this genotype, what is the probability to get this genotype? You will write in 2 upon 16, because 2 out of 16 individuals are with such genotype, and when you will make it simplify, it will be 1 upon 8. So answer in fractions will become 1 upon 8. This is very important, especially this year CBSE has asked for competency based questions. So probability is high that this type of question may come. I hope this was helpful to you. Please stay tuned to my channel, and in the next video we are going to discuss about the Mendel laws. Thank you.